Men have stopped going to singles events and the women are furious.
Went to a singles mixer, and only women showed up.
I just want to invite you to an exciting event. We're having a singles night. So have a look at my events and please come and join us.
Get unready with me while I tell you about my experience speed dating in New York City. We walk up to two girls and we're like, this selection? Literally every single guy was 5'6" or under, and there was not.
I love the astronomical levels of projection girls give off these days. They burn, snub, reject, and turn their noses up on dudes that used to like them, and they have the nerve to ask where all the good men are when we gave up on them and settled for peace and quiet. They all follow the same story of chasing and giving it up to Chad for free, and once they fail to change him and he ghosts her, they want a good man to use as an ATM babysitter for her Chadlets. Hard pass.
Where do single men between the ages of 28 and 40 go on Saturdays? And I don't mean like a specific restaurant or a specific location, I mean generally speaking. Are they at the gym? Are they at a bar watching football? Are they on a hike? Are they at home doing additional work? Are they at the driving range? Are they getting brunch with their friends? What does a 28 to 40-year-old single man's typical Saturday look like?
Come get me. I'm tired of.
Like seriously, I'm putting myself at this. Literally no.
There's not
men.
a single
Where
soul
are
here.
all the men?
The problem is that most women have no sense of time. They believe that life is a story of a rainbow princess revolving around them. If they hit the hard wall at 35 and are still single, it will be almost impossible for them to get a partnership. Then at 40, men start dying, and the pool of available men shrinks a lot. Women are ruining relationships, marriages, families, and men. I have no empathy for them, and just ignore them.
I signed up for a singles event on Valentine's Day, and here's how it went. It was fun, but there was more girls than there were guys. It was definitely like The Bachelor a little bit.
Men don't go to these. Men do not go to singles events.
Going to another singles event, and this is my outfit.
Stop paying money to go to singles events. Men don't go. Stop it.
So I would love to hear from you all as to why you think men don't attend singles events.
Come with us to a Thursday event. No attractive men found.
The sad and amusing thing about these singles events is that they ask the guys to pay, while women get a free pass. Imagine that. If it costs $500 for men and $0 for women, naturally there are going to be more women than men at the event. But what's in it for men? The men that are there are probably more interested in a high-class professional woman who sells her services rather than someone they want to make a commitment to. At $500 a head, the men are not going to walk away with a woman that is fat, has kids, or is ugly. They are expecting someone much better than that. Someone who can be of value.
Why are you don't pursue anymore? What's up?
That is a great question, and in my experience, I learned really fast in the dating world that if I pursued a woman, they lost interest for whatever reason. And I discovered that if I just became a little bit more hard to get and more into myself, that I had more success with women. So to answer your question, why men don't pursue women anymore, it's because we just got in contact with a lot of bad women who taught us that's the way to be successful. And we forgot there's a small minority of good women like yourself who like the traditional pursuit, but we don't encounter enough of you. You're like the 10% of the 100 out there. So that is why men don't pursue anymore, because we know 9 times out of 10, they'll lose interest.
Back in the days, most of the time, you would wait for someone to make the first move. It might be on the first date, it might be the third date, whatever. It could be the man, it could be the woman. But now, all my friends have noticed that the man has stopped making the first move. All my girlfriends are like, they're waiting, it's the third date, fourth date, a week later, he hasn't gone in for the kiss, he doesn't do any touching or anything. And I've asked my dude friends that are single, and they were like, you don't know where a woman's gonna go with that story anymore. I ain't touching nobody. And it sucks because the Me Too movement is so strong and so powerful for the people that need it, but it shouldn't ruin the maturity that we should have with it.
Personally, I think what's wrong is there are still too many men who haven't realized that they have the power to ignore these toxic beings. They still buy into the BS. Fortunately, that number is slowly reducing, and women are starting to notice. That's why they're angry. Keep it up, guys. Hitting them where it hurts and the lack of validation is the only way to get ahead. So, yes, modern women are shocked that men no longer want to attend singles events. But what's even more shocking is that they don't realize why. It's a simple matter of men weighing the potential benefits against the costs and risks. The benefits for them keep going down, while the costs and risks keep going up. And only the most blue-pilled doormat thinks it's a man's job to serve womankind without question like a robot. But that's not happening anymore. Sorry, ladies. The problem with singles events is that men don't enjoy being interrogated and judged for hours, especially when the prize is some older single woman with kids from previous marriages that's been divorced and hates you and all men. Why bother? That doesn't sound fun. That sounds miserable. They probably make men pay as well to attend these one-sided events that are more like job interviews. To me, this just highlights how oblivious these women organizing singles events are. The dating experience for men and women is the complete opposite. They expect to be given things and entertained. Men are expected to give and entertain. I know that if I date, it'll cost me time, energy, and money, and almost certainly won't go anywhere. So what's the point? First, they complain that too many men are creepy and won't leave them alone, and now they complain that men are leaving them alone, and they don't know why. You can't make this stuff up. What we're witnessing now has been building up for a while, and we've reached the point of no return. Men are pulling back from society en masse, because for years we've been told that we don't matter, and that the future is female. We've been told that we're naturally toxic, and are labeled as creeps whenever we show interest in a woman. We finally had enough disrespect, and we are going our own way. Focus on your purpose, and enjoy your peace. Men have become tired of approaching women, or even just looking at women and being called a creep or a pervert. We are just doing what you asked for and leaving you alone. I think this saying applies, be careful what you ask, because you may get it. Once you rule out all the women covered in tattoos, piercings, pink hair, clown clothes, or next to no clothes at all, aggressive and combative attitudes, there are very few women left to choose from if you're looking for a relationship. The alternative is simply hooking up, which a lot of women are complaining is not enough. Men party with them and move on, which makes sense given the circumstances, or even more so nowadays, men simply don't engage because the payoff just isn't worth the hassle and the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Heck, the fruit isn't even worth touching. To be honest, if a good relationship is not good enough, and if a great relationship is just the bare minimum, then what exactly do these women want? They want the very, very best that the universe has to offer. It basically proves the most fundamental difference between men and women when it comes to dating and life in general. For instance, if a man wants a Ferrari, he knows that he will have to work his back off to get it. Women, on the other hand, will simply try to manifest it. They think that living in a normal house, owning a normal car, and having a normal partner who simply loves her and that she can trust is, at best, settling, or at worst, living in hell. This delusion that they are owed the very best that life has to offer is the reason why so many women set themselves up to fail. The reason why men are not going to these events is quite simple. They don't want to deal with feminists, and nearly all of the women out there are feminists. In the meantime, these men are developing their careers and hobbies and friendships. Most of these men, and not going to be married until they're well into their 30s. Men checked out long ago because we're now beginning to realize that we're the prize, the breadwinners, the heads of marriage. There's just too much competition when men are involved. We've got women competing for our position. That's absolutely fine. Just don't keep crawling back, crying, begging, and pleading for those of us men you threw away by selling yourselves short. We're not jumping to your beck and call, nor are we falling for the theatrical Oscar-type waterwork performances, knowing just how biased and corrupt the law is against us men. Even innocent men were failed by females in the law. We chose to take away the blessing of marriage. You all know that the family court system needs to be reformed. Do you want to lose half or more of everything? Think about it, long and hard. Marriage is not worth the mental, emotional, and financial risk. Spread the message. Tell every man you know. It looks like the RP wave is starting to make a significant impact. Guys are fed up with the whole game. Women go to those places in packs, so separating one from the herd is almost impossible. Kind of a waste of time for guys. So if a woman asks, what is wrong with men? Nothing. We have reasonable standards and want our partners to have the same. We want an actual partnership that is based on mutual respect and understanding. We want a peaceful life at home, not a combative shrew to add to the daily stresses of life. It's that simple, guys. Thanks for watching Man Reacts. Show us your love and support by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Support us and help us spread support for men around the world. Do comment and share your thoughts. We're always up for a healthy debate and discussion.